Rose between two thorns. You know?
I'm glad I'm not at work tomorrow.
Right, here we go, back again with another video, and today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We've been meaning to do this for a little while. We're going to have a chat all things Sunderland. On my left, we've got Steve-O, aka Steve. How are you doing?
I'm alright. 3 days off now until I come back to work, so loving life.
Stephen's a season ticket holder?
Yeah, but I've changed it next season, unfortunately, because of my work pattern. I do 5 on, 3 off. So my 2 girls, I'm just going to pay when I can get to the matches.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I've done that for a few seasons as well.
I changed at the beginning of the year, and I got to about 4 matches when I could have got to 9. So this season, unfortunately, it's pay as you go, as the old saying goes. But my kids like the Black Cats bar, so it looks like it's going to cost me probably more money than the season ticket anyway.
Why not? You have to enjoy it. And on me right, we got Raymond looking tanned. How's the diet going, Raymond?
Hello, the diet's going well there. I've been to the...
Never mind Slimmer's world, Raymondo's world.
I've been to the doctors today. I was 17.10 on April the 4th.
17.10?
17 stone 10 on April the 4th. And I'm exactly 15 stone 13
today. Okay, now.
Well done, Ray. Well done.
But I've been told I've got to get it down to get my cholesterol down, but it still might not work. So they take us another thing today to see if I can get the results soon to see if it's gone down a bit.
2 stone off.
Yeah, well, just short.
Right, absolutely fantastic that.
Aye, about 26 pounds. Now we're another 20 to go.
20 to go. Right, talk a bit louder because I don't have to
Can you hear us?
That's a bit better, Raymond. Who's
me?
been eating garlic?
Mate, sorry, I've just cooked the tea. Sorry, if you follow me on Instagram, you see all the nice foods I cook, and I do cook a lot.
So what are you on Instagram, Steve?
Stephen Henzell, simple as Stephen for
Henzell,
me.
there we go.
And then Henzell, Henzell.
You've probably seen him before, anyway, on my videos and other videos kicking about Stadium of Light. You know, Stephen speaks with his heart, you know, says it the way it is, same as Raymondo does as well. Right, so first on the agenda tonight, I want a quick brief. What was your thoughts on last season, Steve?
I thought, I got a lot of stick because I thought we could have done better than we was. But at the end of the day, I look at the season before and you're thinking the squad we had, they weren't scared us in the championship. Absolutely. Everybody was like, they were happy with just beating relegation. Whereas I was, this squad can get in the top 6. It can easily can. And it did eventually, but it was the lowest points in the top 6. But the injuries concern me. The amount of players we had out injury concern me. So I want to know if we can do better this season. But I would say, I honestly said I won 6 last season. We got 6, so...
Were you disappointed in the end?
No, yes and no, because the amount of grief I got saying, well, I just wanted to stay up. But the thing is, when you went to that playoff final, I was at the playoff final like yourself, Terry, and the squad we had at the playoff final, you thought, it can beat anybody in the championship and anyone scares us. Was I disappointed? Yes and no, but at the same time, I'll happy take it, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I was like sort of mid of the table. I thought maybe it's about 12th, 10th, 12th. Towards the end of the season, when I knew we could have and should have really replaced Stewart, that was a bit sort of a bit of taste in my mouth, that, because I thought maybe we could have done a lot better. But I thought that the hierarchy had really no sort of, they weren't that bothered if we didn't get promoted last season. So I think they were sort of, you know, I don't want to speak for them, but in my opinion, I thought maybe they were content with the way the season was. It ended up being a good season, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if we'd replaced Stewart, if we got another couple of players in the January transfer window, we could have actually made the playoff final. We could have got it promoted.
Height. That was our downfall last season, was height. In defence was height. Also a striker, you know what I mean? And so far, this transfer window, we've got over 6 foot. But me and you was moaning about it halfway through the season that we need height.
Yeah.
And he doesn't listen to me and him, so Speaksman, don't worry. We know you don't listen to me and Terry, but we were saying last season we need height, didn't we, Terry?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
And so far so good, but like that's what. If we had the height and we kept everybody fit last season, you got to remember there was about 10, 11 players out who would have started last season, especially for the playoffs, and I think we would have won it if everybody was fit.
I kind of get the feeling you were a little bit on the disappointed side.
I am, but
I'm kind of sort of middle of the road.
And my dad was happy with, 16th, and I always argued with my dad saying, the team we've got can beat anyone. They've got no fear, and that's what I saw in League One. And when I was looking at the Championship while we was still in League One, I was like, the team we've got now, Neil, Clark, Robertson, Gooch. I mean, you know me, Terry.
Aye.
I love Gooch,
Aye.
and I think Gooch. I want Gooch after, because his contract runs out next season. I want him to sign another 2 seasons. He's like a Kevin Ball of, back in the day. And if we had 11 players like Gooch last season, I think we would have gone up as well as with the strikers, you know what I mean? And I think that was our downfall, not having enough strikers.
Well, I'm going to say to Ray now, because I know Ray has a different opinion on this subject. I know Ray thinks that's the best football he's seen in a long time last season. So Ray, your overall opinion last season, and were you disappointed towards the end, or were you over the moon?
I thought the whole season, other than 2 games, when every home game, I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah.
I did. I thought the football was outstanding. It was Premiership class. A lot of it was Premiership class. I'll tell you where I think it went wrong. The 3 big lads at the back got injured towards the end of the season. All right, Stuart got injured as well, and I think we could have dealt with that. We couldn't deal with the 3 big lads at the back being injured all the same
100%.
time. If them 3 had been fit and Stuart still wasn't back, I still think we would have gone up.
Definitely.
Do you think there's some...
Because if you think of the player off at Luton, they scored 2 goals from corners because we had no height. But you can't help injuries. We had a lot of good players out injured for a long time. Certain was out. He's not that small. Hume was brilliant at the back. 09 probably for me.
A bit closer there.
Right.
Closer forward of the thingy, that's it.
09 probably for me, and possibly Ahmad were the best 2 for the season.
So you were over the moon, basically, with the season as a whole.
I said before the season start, I think they'd be in the 8th position, and as it went on, I said, I think we might get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right, in the playoff first game, I thought we played well. In the second game, I thought it showed those 3 defenders who wasn't at the back, and I thought Luton were dirty.
Yeah, not fair enough.
Right, and we should have had a penalty after about 20 minutes, can't remember.
Yeah, aye.
But
Ifs and buts in it, ifs and buts and
ifs and
maybe.
buts, but other than the Stoke and Burnley games, I thoroughly enjoyed the season. I thought some of the football was definitely Premiership.
And that's down to Tony Mowbray.
Well, I can only way I said that to you
Yeah.
before, Tony, is when they're on about changing, I said, well, what are they going to change it for? He's a good manager.
Do you not think it was
He's a good manager of young kids,
Yeah.
and that's what we're playing. Young kids.
He knows how to speak to them because he's got his kids. Exactly, but that's the thing where he knows his kids are only like late teenage years himself, so he knows how to speak to them. It's like, I'm ex-army, and if somebody was effing and balling at me, I'd be like, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for swearing.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a channel.
You know what I mean?
Space where.
Yeah.
But if one of my sergeants went, Stephen, do us a favour, do that, you would respect it. And I think that's how Tony Mowbray speaks to his players.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets so much respect, because he knows how to speak to young teenagers. Obviously as years go on, and everything's changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
But Tony Romy knows how to speak to the younger players. Also,
But he's always done well wherever he's gone, really, hasn't he? He hasn't been outstanding, but he's been good enough.
but he's never been backed like he's getting backed at Sunderland.
Now that's the thing, we're going to move on to recruitment, right? Recruitment. So you're saying backed, right? Should he have been backed when Ross Stewart got injured?
Yes.
And he wasn't?
No.
Why?
Or because he thought he was going to keep Sims, that's why.
Fair enough.
And if we kept Sims,
Yeah.
my opinion is we might have gone.
100%, but obviously you can't predict the lottery, and I'm the biggest caller, and I'll hold my hands up that I've called KLD, Speaksman, and I've called him rotten. The reason why I call KLD is because my dad was a coal miner, and I come from a working background, and somebody who's been given money I just don't like, because they've never worked a hard days in their life.
But at the same time, it's not his fault, is it?
No, it's not his fault, but when you see that...
Stephen, can I just stop you there?
Go on then.
If somebody said to you, Stephen, you don't have to work anymore, I'm going to give you £100 million, would you take it? Honestly,
hand on heart, but you know what it's thinking straight in the back of my mind? It's not about my enjoyment, it's about my kids' enjoyment.
Exactly.
And that's obviously that's what's happened to him.
That's what happened to him. His parents looked after him.
But
you've got to take it.
You've got to take it, but at the same time you're thinking, does he know 100% how to run a football club?
No, because that's why you got other people in who did.
He must have advisors, though, mustn't he?
Yeah,
He must...
but as long as they're better than Ellis Short's advisors, because obviously Ellis Short had advisors, and what happened with Ellis Short, because Ellis Short was just here, there's 100 million, and I can see where he's going from here, and I now can see the project that's coming, but at the same time you're thinking, you need a couple of years, so this is my opinion.
The only
trust you.
The only problem I see with kids this age is if they're good enough, in 2 years' time, they'll not be there. That's my problem.
But the same with...
They'll be elsewhere.
This is what's made me...
Like Ahmad.
Yeah. No, but this is what's made me swing my... Because obviously I was... Speakman, I caught him in McDonald's on Western Way. And I'll hold my hands up, I cornered him. I was like...
Oh, was he having a big man?
No, he was just tackling his kid to the toilet. He's like, bloody hell, I only want to tap my kid to the toilet. And I went to Speakman because I wasn't happy with him, and I'll hold my hands up and stuff like this in the past. And with my Asperger's, I can't hold what I see. I have to see what's in my head just comes out. And
There's no wrong with that.
at the end of the day, I said we need a big. At the time, we needed a big defender, and he's like, "Oh, I'll get it." And he didn't, and so from then I questioned his ability. The signings he was making, all this youngsters and all that. But obviously, so far we're talking 27th of June. I'm quite happy, and it seems everybody's queries from last season, he seems to be right, we'll get him, we'll get that person, you know what I mean? And so my expectation, what he's got so far is like he wants to go for, KLD and him want to go for promotion, you know, and I'll hold my hands up that I will not shake KLD Speakman hands until I can see this model, what he's going for works out, because at the end of the day this model is new to everyone. You know what I mean? It's not new to the Football League, it's new to the whole world because no one's done it before. He's got the free range of our football club, and this is where I find it hard to get behind him, because it's like, are we just a chance? Are we a specimen? Are we like so-called trial? If this works out, let's gone somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because it's never been done before. Yeah. But at the end of the day,
guinea pigs.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, I'd still believe that this is June the 27th. I still believe that we need 2 other signings, and that's my concern.
So, Ray, do you think that, speaking on what we're doing now, the model that we're going down with all these youngsters, do you think it's going to work with just youngsters next season, or do we need, like Steve says, a couple of experienced players in there? And when we say experienced, I mean, how old are we talking, in your opinion?
Well, the likes of Bath and Ballard, not Ballard, Bath and Cirkin, they're older lads, aren't they?
Yeah. Cirkin's 22.
No, he's
about 21, something like that.
What about that? He's a kind of age.
No, he's not. He's still only 25, 26, Gooch.
Pritchard's about 20 years.
Yeah, he's about 28.
26 is all right. How old's Egg as a kid? Evans, he's getting on. But
No, Evans in his 30s, like.
I mean, experience. The only experienced players we've got really is Evans in his 30s, Danny Bartley was in his 30s.
Yeah.
And then you're talking after that, you've got like Gooch, you've got Pritchard, you've got Roberts in the late 20s, mid to 20s. You've got Stewart about 27. And after that, the rest of them basically are youngsters, early 20s or late teens.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, I think it is. I think that they're doing the same as last year. They're bringing a lot of kids in. It worked last season, almost to the point of getting 2 promotions off the belt. Almost. I think that's the right idea. Hopefully, cross fingers, we don't have as many injuries to major players, because we had a lot. Towards the end of the season, we had a lot. Now, that might be because the bands, the kids, they're not fully grown yet.
Well, the injuries, really, think about injuries. Stewart, 27, experienced player, really good at defending as well as getting the goals. Evans, the captain, 30s, experienced. Danny Bart towards the end could have cost us in the playoffs, to be honest. If Danny Bart being fit, we could have beat Luton and then won the final. So we were lucky with 3 major injuries there. We lost Ballard for a long time in mid-season. A couple of times we lost Ballard.
Well, even in that last game,
Alessi.
They brought that Alessi on, didn't they, the second half, and we nearly did it, but not quite.
So, like I said, you're happy with the recruitment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with the recruitment. I think some of them should be going like.
We're going to get that next. Stephen, recruitment, are you happy with the recruitment? Or again, a couple of experienced players will make you happy?
I think we need 2 more.
2 more experienced players. Are you talking like Premier League dropouts, or are you talking Championship players?
I would think Championship players. Because I think that if you've been in the Premiership, it doesn't work. I don't think it works going down over. They usually end up going abroad.
What about Burnley last season? They won the league, didn't have a lot of players who they kept.
Yeah.
Newcastle a couple of seasons ago, a lot of players they kept.
You get 100 million, you've got to keep them players as long as you're going straight up. But if Burnley didn't go up, they'd be straight. All them players would have gone. But recruitment wise, I'm happy so far. I would say 70% out of 100. How many more players would you say I want? I would say at least 1 more striker. I want Sims, or I'll tell you what, I'll be greedy. I'm going to be greedy. I want Sims and Leeds United player. Oh, come on, Gerhardt. I know he's not a full striker, but he's a number 10. But if Sims and Stewart are fit, he plays better with them. Why can we not sell that? Why can we not buy that Gerhardt? Because what Leeds got to offer?
Leeds got a championship, haven't they?
Exactly. So what are they got to offer compared to what we've got to offer? Nout. You know what I mean? No, they haven't. No, because have you seen Leeds? Have you seen the ground? Yeah. Have you seen the training facilities compared to ours?
They're well supported Leeds.
They're not though. I lived in Yorkshire for 20 years.
They've always been 30,000s.
Yeah, they might 30,000, but look at where we live, how many we get. I lived in Yorkshire, there were Sunderland fans. I went to school, I grew up in Yorkshire from Sunderland. I moved down to Yorkshire because my dad was a coal miner here, right? And I was in school for kind of few Mackhams, and the rest were Man U, Liverpool fans. So seeing Leeds as well represented, they're not, it's like them barcodes up the road. If they're winning, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. So at the end of the day, their ground. I'm not saying this a bias, but their ground's a shithole. The training ground is a shithole. Gelhard's seen what a training ground can be, and that's one thing I've got to say about KLD is he's putting money back into the training ground. He's putting money back into the stadium. Why would you want to play at Leeds when you can play at Sunderland with excellent facilities? Who's going to?
So you don't think for young lads it's down to game time and cash?
Yeah.
Or more game time than cash?
At this moment in time, I think the players we're buying is more game time.
If we have Stuart fully fit, Semedo, who's come here to play because he's obviously from Benfica to Sunderland, it's like, he's taking a chance, isn't he? Then you got Gelhardt and Sims. Does Gelhardt want to come if he knows Sims and Semedo and Stewart's there if he gets to start at Leeds?
Is Semedo bought or
he's bought? Semedo's bought a 5-year contract.
How much did you pay for him?
It's undisclosed, which usually means it's a free.
Right.
And the clubs don't want to disclose how much money
obviously
it is.
They will get promoted and there'll be add-ons and stuff like that.
Well, that sort of
but
thing.
at the end of the day, you don't know how Semedo's going to be in this league.
No.
And Gelhardt might come, you know what I mean? I think we still need 2 more strikers because what happened last...
I would definitely have Gelhardt back.
Yeah.
Who's a bigger club, Leeds or Sunderland?
Sunderland. Simple
I would
as.
have thought Sunderland.
No, exactly. But I know we're biased. If there's any Leeds fans here, I apologise, but I've been in your boat and our boat. I've lived in Yorkshire. I grew up in Yorkshire. I went to school in Yorkshire 8. From Sunderland, but went to Yorkshire 8. I used to get the West Yorkshire branch. We used to fill. You had to book your ticket for the bus because it used to get sold out. I went to school in North Yorkshire. So it was probably about 15 miles away from Leeds, 16 miles away from Leeds. That school wasn't just full of Leeds fans. Unlike you come 15 miles away, 16 miles away from Sunderland to Durham, Ferry Hill, etc. You got 2 teams, Sunderland or Newcastle. Whereas in the school I went to, you had Liverpool, Man United, Leeds, Sunderland, believe it or not, Sunderland, and etc. And that's why I do believe that Sunderland are more supported than Leeds. When they went down to League One, who's got the record in League One? What's that? Who's got the record in League One for the most attendance? It's Sunderland.
There's no doubt in my mind Sunderland are a bigger club than Leeds.
You know what I mean? 100%.
Now they are.
And now Geldor's gone down to the Championship. If I was Gelhard, I'd be like, I'm going to Sunderland.
So if Gelhardt is in the Championship and you can get plenty of game time at Leeds, but only on the subs bench at Sunderland, will he go to Sunderland instead of Leeds?
He won't get on the bench at Sunderland because
if you have Stewart, you have Sims.
Yeah, but he will. He'll only be on the bench team.
At the end of the day,
if they're all fit,
who's saying we're getting Sims? Or
I'm just saying that you wanted Sims and Gelhardt, didn't you?
You look at Stewart, right? Mm-hmm. And I get slated because I'm not. Sorry, folks, I'm not the biggest fan of Stewart. Even though he's done wonders, he come injured.
Aye. He's had a couple of injuries.
He's come injured.
He's injury prone.
And then in League One, injured. Mm-hmm. Championship this season, he's missed 70%. Not half.
Would you get rid of Stewart and have Gelhardt, Sims and Semedo?
No, I wouldn't get rid of Stewart. I would have Gelhardt, Sims and Semedo. And if we get a different striker than Stewart, because at the end of the day, this is why this contract's gone on so long, and this is what's made me turn against KLD, because I was the biggest caller KLD, and what's coming up was out
Sartori?
No, not
KLD,
Sartori. Speakman. I've called Speakman out many a times, but at the end of the day with Stewart, he hasn't given us a full season yet. No. He has not given us a full season yet. So for my option, I would say, you're not signing a contract, you're not giving these terms. Terrell, mate, we'll look for somebody else. And I would have that Gelhardt, Sims, obviously Semedo,
maybe
one more. You know what I mean? Because yes, Stewart he scored in the playoff final, and that's the thing about Sunderland fans, right? You could be absolutely shit, but you score against the Mags or score in a final. That's it. You're a legend. Mm. But it doesn't give the whole season. This is why I get one of my mates, loving the bits, he's called me. He says, "No, you're wrong, Stephen. You're wrong." I'm like, "I'm not wrong because Stuart has been injured more than he's fucking played minutes for Sunderland.
He's been injured quite
and this
a
is
lot.
what and this is what you got to look at. And everybody calling fucking Spinkman and fucking KLD saying, "No, give him 40 grand. What, 40 grand to be injured for 50% of the team?"
I feel like a rose between two thorns,
You know what I mean? Sorry, lads. Sorry.
I feel like a spelt between two buds.
My name's Stephen Henzell. Send it to you, Box Duke, and all the
Right, we'll
complaints.
get, we know about Stewart, Sims, Semedo, Gelhardt. So your opinion, right? We've got Stewart. Do we give him a new contract? Do you think he's going to stay injury free? No.
I would give him a new contract. I don't think he's staying injury free.
So what's the point of keeping him if he's going to be always be injured?
Because when
He
he's
can
not
score,
injured, he's playing some
He
Yeah, he
does,
does. Yeah,
That's
100%.
why.
100%.
How many scores? How many did he score in the? How many did he score in the League One with injuries?
Well, I think he was 11 before he even got 11
No,
games,
it was
wasn't he?
League One.
Oh, League
Yeah.
One, aye, that's right, 20 odd, wasn't it?
Right, exactly.
So we got Stewart. He's fit. He's ready to start. He's going to be training by the time we start playing these friendlies. Whether he's fit enough to start the season, it's dubious. Semedo's obviously going to be fit, young lad. How many more strikers do we need, Ray? Do we bring in Sims and Gelhardt like Steve says?
I would have both of them back.
Yeah. And who do you
Out
start?
of the two, I think Gelhardt was the better footballer.
Yeah, than Sims.
Yeah, but Sims was a better finisher.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's why Gelhardt was the number 10, not the striker.
Yeah.
Do you think those two together would be a good combination on the
I
pitch?
think Gelhardt and Stewart would be good together.
You think Gelhardt will come to Sunderland rather than Leeds? Come on, Ray, your opinion.
My God, his shirt is bigger than the road.
Well, he could because he'd be on the same money, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
Just on loan, you mean? Or do you mean?
No,
Buy him.
Buy him.
Don't worry, I mean, it's for Leeds, you don't
I
get
would
a,
buy
for me, you
Gelhardt.
don't get a loan player from a championship team. If you're in the championship, you buy the player,
I
don't you?
would have Gelhardt. I would buy Gelhardt. I wouldn't buy Sims, but I'd have him back as because he's not a very good player.
Are we going to finish higher than Leeds next season?
Aye, yes.
Yeah?
We're going to be in the top two.
Oh, fucking hell, right. So we're going to go on to new signings, right? So far, Ray, we've signed Mr. Sleet. It's not called Sleet, it's called something else.
Sealed.
Sealed from PSV, Eindhoven.
How old?
He's a young lad, about 21, I think he's might be younger, but he's maybe between 19 and 21, I'm forgetting now.
Defender.
6'4" tall defender. A lot of the PSV sort of fans have said he's very slow, but he plays the ball from the back. We got Job Bellingham, Jude's brother, 17 years old from Birmingham.
He's only got to be 1% as good as his brother, and he'll be all right.
Exactly.
Because Bellingham's one of the best players in the world.
He's already played for Birmingham in the first team. He's got championship experience.
He's 17.
He's played in the...
He's one that'll go if he's any good.
Sleet's played in the Dutch league. Semedo, he's played in the sort of the young squad for Benfica, but obviously Portuguese player, done well. And we got Triantas, the Australian international, 6'4". So we've got two 6'4" international players, right? Two 6'4" defenders.
Are we keeping Bath and Ballard?
At the moment, yes, but we're going to go.
Do we own them?
Yes, we own them both.
I would play Bath and Ballard before Sealt and Triantas.
Exactly, but
Yes.
Ballard's want to buy West Ham, want to buy Leeds, and because he's an Arsenal lad and he'll come to the academy, he might be tempted to go back to London, we don't know.
Ballard.
But rumours are he's happy to stay at Sunderland at this moment in time as long as Clark. So far we've got 4 players in there. What's your thoughts on the 4 youngsters, no experience? What's your thoughts on them? Are you happy with that?
I didn't know anything about them, Terry.
Nothing at all.
I mean, Triantas, Semedo, Sealt, you might as well be talking in a foreign language to me. This fella,
Sure.
I only know him through his brother.
Right.
And, well, I'm just being truthful.
No, that's what it's all about, man.
This
That's
fella
what it's all
here,
about.
if he's any good, he'll not be there in 2 years. I'll tell you now.
No, you're right.
We're clearly not going to keep all these players, but if we did keep all these players, right, because we've got a 25-man squad, but the ones under 21 can get in for now. How many more players do we need? Do we need to stop buying youngsters and buy some experience now?
I think so.
And you see experience in Sims and Gelhardt because they are
Is he
experienced.
staying, right?
Well, I've got a feeling he's going to go, but at the moment he's still here.
He'll be getting on for 30, is he not?
He's getting close, he's in late 20s.
He's not as good as them others, like.
So you think with the team we have now?
Well, I would.
Anderson.
That's me. He's related.
Yes, you're young, isn't he, Anderson?
Well,
me and
Anderson's
Me and Ray's related.
Aye.
I'm
Me and Anderson are related.
Never.
What's his first name?
Joe.
Joanne.
Doesn't even know his own his relation's name.
Honestly, no.
Tell you,
Raymond. His name's Anderson. That's why his name Anderson.
I'll tell you who is distantly related to us. Stan Anderson.
So, is he?
And you know who he was, don't you?
Yes, I do.
He's the only one who played for all three clubs.
And I can see I was related to Adolf Hitler because my last name's German, isn't it? Henzell.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about Hitler. He killed himself on my birthday. I wasn't born.
Did he kill himself because you were born?
Princess Diane died on my birthday.
August the 31st.
Yes, that's my birthday.
That's the same birthday as Nicky.
Right, anyway, we digress in here.
Right, let's get back to football.
Ray is a long relation of mine. My auntie is his sister. That's how I know Ray. Good friends.
Embo's Eastern.
Embleton's still here.
You want to smile, Embo? If you're watching this, please smile.
But because he's had a lot of injuries.
He is. But at the end of the day, he does not fucking smile. I watched. They went back to training on Monday. Embo was like, aye, how you doing, cameraman? How you doing this, man?
Right, come on, we'll go through players out, right? Obviously, Patterson we're keeping, we'll go through both of these. Patterson we're keeping, Alex Bass.
No, out.
You want somebody better than him.
Patterson stayed injury-free, played every single game in the championship last season.
But what's
Can we risk it?
No, because at the end of the day, he could get injured this season, and I do not trust Bass as I trust Geordie, bringing my daughters up as a fan.
Who would you bring in?
How bad did we think? Was it Jason Steele? And now he's the Brighton goalkeeper?
I know.
It's just, but he's not Brighton's first choice, though, is he?
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
but
he's in the Premiership.
So there we go, goalkeepers. Who would you bring in? Anybody you like? Fancy? Anybody throw any names out there?
If Mingley is free, I'll bring Mingley back. Yeah. No? I thought it was a good
Well, we're going through that.
Yeah.
Right, we've gone through them all.
Right, so I agree. Bass out for me, unfortunately. Right, Huggins. Loan, keep or sell?
Keep.
Loan, keep or sell?
Keep.
I'd put him out on loan to get them experience, because he's not getting experience at the moment with Sunderland, so that's my personal opinion. Then we've got, obviously, Bailey Wright.
Sorry, Bailey Wright. Good day, mate. But I just don't think you're going to get anywhere near the first team. So, and I believe that you're too small for the centre defence, and that's why you missed that header in the playoff final. So, but thank you very much. What you did on League One, but I think it's time to go.
I like Bailey Wright, like him 100%. I think he's class. I think he's great in probably League One, in the low end of the Championship. But I think because we've got better players in the squad, we have to release somebody, and I'd release Bailey Wright, but I wish him all the best. So release him, yes.
Yeah.
Anderson's come into the club, never been given an opportunity. What would you do? Loan him out, or are you happy to keep him?
How old is he?
Again, I don't know. Roughly about 20ish. He's a young lad.
I will loan out League One.
Loan out League One.
I would keep him because I like his name.
Aye. Loan him out League One.
No, I would leave him.
Where does he play though, Terry?
He's a left side, a central defender. He can play a left back, but he wasn't midfield, but moved back to the defence. So
maybe he should be loaned.
No, I think he should be loaned out and get experience.
Do you think?
Only until Christmas though.
Right, we're not going to go through ones we know we're going to keep, but do you think we'll keep Ballard? I think he'll end up going. We end up selling them, getting the money.
No, we'll keep him.
Think he's going to stay?
It's come out this week that we are not a selling club, and that's what's made me change my opinion on KLD. And
so there you go. Don't you dare sell any players or say your McDonald's. You'll be in trouble.
I'll tell you now. I won't see you McDonald's. I followed you home that night. I'm only joking. I didn't. Right. I can't one last that long.
I think Ballard will stay.
You think he'll stay?
Yeah, and I think
09 sell or keep.
Oh, definitely keep 09.
Definitely?
100%.
Should he be captain?
Aye, possibly.
Mate.
I think Bath might be a better captain.
Yeah.
Evans was a good captain. But
Who?
Evans, but he's...
Yeah, but he should be fit next season.
Aye.
09, I love you. Yeah, everything what we want.
I would never sell him.
No, it's everything he knows. He taxis dogs down for a walk down Seaburn Road.
He's just one of the lads, man.
He's a Kevin Ball of 2023, and at the end of the day, people can call me. I know we're gonna get him to the next, but 09, please don't leave.
I think 09
He's
for
just
me
fantastic.
is like one of those players.
Can you come to my wedding? I'm getting married next year. Can you just? It's on the 24th of August next year. Can you just? You and another person, as we're going on, I want to see you. Can you come to my wedding? Please turn up to my wedding.
Luke 09.
Luke 09, please.
Best man, maybe?
I fucking would. Luke 09.
What's your opinion on
But it's on a Saturday, so it might not happen.
Well, I was like a lot of people at the start of last season, the jury's up with a lot of these players where they can make the grade and step up to the championship. I thought Luke 09 did, made a few mistakes during the season, but as the season went on, he got better and better, and I thought towards the back end of the season, just absolutely class. I love him to bits, you know, as a human being, as a Sunderland fan, as a Sunderland player, I think he's everything
what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hard tackles. We
Passionate.
don't give a fuck if you don't win, but as long as you put a hard tackle in that game,
100%.
and 100%, we're happy, aren't we?
Yeah. As long as you've got a little bit of talent and, you know, you're in the right grade, but as long as you give everything, I mean...
I like them to win.
Oh, yeah, we want to see him win. Right, we're moving to midfield now. Right, Corey Evans, been injured, he's 32-ish, got a 1-year contract, he's a captain. Ray, do we keep or do we sell?
He's only got 1 year left.
No,
he's only been given a 1-year contract.
So he's also entitled.
I think I'd keep him for another year.
Yeah. If he can stay injury free, I'd love him to stay. If we could get somebody else with a similar ilk who's definitely going to stay injury free, there's no definites, but again, I'd keep Evans for one season. You?
Mate, definitely, 100%. But I would play him in front of defence.
Would you?
And like that Jan Kirchhoff, who we had, can you remember? The German. A shocking first game, but then he played absolutely magnificent to stay us up in the Premier League. And I would say it, Evans, get your brother over. Get your brother over, your brother's a free agent.
You haven't got that...
Get Johnny over.
Sold, gone.
He's gone, is he?
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's went. I know.
That's yesterday. He's gone.
He's gone.
Check out the back in team. I think check team maybe.
I don't care, but he's fucking gone, so I'm glad. But
you're on about Kirchhoff.
But Evans definitely keep, but stick in front of the defence.
What about another player from a similar sort of time? MV, would you have him back? He's on the free right now.
Oh, I've heard that. No, because he hasn't. I haven't read MV, you know, the one who was meant to come and deal with Moyes.
It was he when Sam Rice.
Yes, and then obviously we didn't sign him and we got relegated.
Can he play? Really?
Yeah, he was for that season, but I haven't heard in the newspapers his name since he didn't come back.
That's a couple of years ago, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 32 now. He's 32 now.
Right.
So for me, no, because he's just somebody who.
I wouldn't be.
It's like saying Kevin Phillips wants to come back to football, so we bring Kevin Phillips back, and that's the same with MVS. So no.
Jim Matete, keep, sell, or loan out?
No, I want to keep him and I want to play him.
Play him, do you?
I want to play him. So because I want to play him in the same position as Evans. So when him and Evans, because Evans is getting on, but Evans reads the game so well. It's like me as a lorry driver. I know this is so not compassion, but when you're a lorry driver, the minimum year is 2 years. You know what I mean? When you go for jobs, can we have 2 years experience? And I'm like, when I first started lorry driving, I'm like, well, I ain't got fucking 2 years. What are you on about? But then I realised with the reversing, knowing the size of my vehicle and stuff like that, I understand. And I think Evans would be a brilliant teacher to Matete to stick in.
So if you were Tony Mowbray, you'd say Matete, right? Evans under Matete. Matete under Evans's wing, the other way around, and learn from Evans.
Yeah,
you're that role.
Because Evans is not gonna, because he's 32. Even though I'm 37, I still do 70 hours a week. Evans is not gonna play every game. So I would say, bring Matete on after 70 minutes.
He was in Plymouth on loan. They were saying the same thing. He's liable to a hard challenge. Right. But that could be timing, that could be maturity, that could be age. Matete alone, keep or sell?
Loan out.
I'd be tempted to loan him out to Plymouth, but I can see where Steve's coming from, I really can. We've got an abundance of midfielders, mind. Ekwar's obviously fantastic. Gooch has done a good job. Pritchard, sell or keep?
Keep, simple as.
Sell or keep?
I would keep him, but I think he'll go.
But because he won't...
I tell you
about
about
Pritchard.
That twat who was
No, I think he'll get Huddersfield off.
Alex Neil.
No, Huddersfield.
Stoke,
Yeah,
that's
he'll
where
get
he'll
the
get-
Stoke or Norwich, because at the end of the day, Pritchard, when he's not in the first team, he's got a fucking mange on.
Right.
And we do not want any player fucking mourning that they're not in the start.
There's a video online today from SFC, the official website, and that they're going in, players are going in and asking which player have you missed the most throughout the summer? And the two main players are... Do you want to be on YouTube, Mrs. Henzell?
What's your thing, you say?
Henzell.
I know it's German, like.
Right, anyway,
Right.
what was I saying? What we were saying? Who were we talking about? Pritchard, yeah.
yes.
Right, they were saying, that's it. They were saying which players have you missed up the summer? The majority of the players said Anderson of all the players, and Pritchard. So he's obviously well liked in the squad. So would you keep or sell?
Oh, me, Pritchard, I'd definitely keep him.
I'm not bothered with it, to be honest, because at the end of the day, when I've seen him when he hasn't started, he's got a mange on. I don't want any player having a mange on when they're not starting 11.
Do you know what it is?
And you said that video. I've watched the videos, right, on Instagram
No.
and all that, and he just doesn't seem happy. He's come in, whereas Luke 09, he's like, oi, Samaloi! Like
Some people are just naturally
right.
like miserable, and no
Yeah,
matter what they're doing, they're just like that kind of.
Yeah, but I just.
Pritchard I'd keep, but I don't think
No.
I think he'll go.
At the end of the day, if we get 5 million bidding for Pritchard, because obviously I want to make money for the club,
Aye.
if we just get 5 million, I'll be like, Pritchard, you've been brilliant, but on your bike, because you just seem miserable if Roberts or Clark gets in front of you.
See, with all these youngsters coming through, I just don't see a long term where Pritchard fits in eventually. I'm on the fence. If he stays here, I'll back 100%. If he goes, fair
It
enough.
just seems to be like American
Raymond?
football and me. You know what I mean? Whereas American footballer comes on to take the kick, you know them.
Yeah.
And that's what Pritchard seems to me. He's just tack free kick.
Like Ray's mentioned Ahmad there. Ahmad is at Manchester United. Apparently, if he goes out on loan again, it looks as if it could be Sunderland again, but it just depends. This is only paper talk. Again, would you have him back on loan?
Oh, definitely.
No brainer. No brainer.
Me, I will let him shag my lass.
Oh.
Check that out.
Am I lovely loving?
Yeah, of course you can't.
I'll tell you-
Right, anyway.
I'll tell you what I'm going to and I heard a story today.
He's not shagging my lass.
Rig.
Aye. Apparently, Chris Rigg, 15 years of age, maybe 16. I don't know.
16.
How.
No, he's signing,
16, the same age as on my birthday. This.
Right.
So he's 16 now. So he's going to sign a 2-year contract. Apparently, that's good news. Right, we got Clark.
But do you see who's been in for him? Did you not read that?
Newcastle and Manchester United.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Because he's
a lot
black
of-
and white,
his
isn't he?
family.
His family's black and
His
white.
family are Newcastle fans, aren't they? So eventually he might go there.
He
eventually.
probably end up will go in there.
We know the rest of the players in midfield are going to stay, but we'll go with Gooch. Gooch could still go.
Gooch, I love you. Never leave Sunderland. I want to do a testimony of the year. Terry, I've backed him. How many times have I backed him?
I know what you want to say, and you're forgetting about he's getting married next year, Gooch.
Gooch, right? I want you to come to my wedding. Gooch, if you're listening, I'm on Instagram, Stephen Henzell. Please follow me and tell me that you're coming to my wedding it's a Saturday at the 24th, so you might not be able to, but send a message, because Gooch, you're American, but you're not American because you're a Mac and mate, and I love you.
Yes, I keep him.
Honestly, I keep you until you was in your Zimmer free mate. You know what I mean?
love me, you, mate.
I don't know why, but I just love Gooch. I don't know why.
That's me. What I'm
Before
thinking about
Gooch, you know what I mean?
He's fucking
Obviously, I was born in the 80s. I love Gary Bennett. Gary Bennett is a legend. Then I love Kevin Ball. Kevin Ball was one of my favourite players. Now Quinn and all that, but Gooch, I love you, mate. That's all I can say. Gooch, you're at my wedding, just fake an injury.
It's like me and you were on weddings, weren't we?
You can do if you want, if you're free.
Right, anyway, Gooch, still go.
Oh, definitely Steve.
Embleton,
He's too injury prone for me.
too injury prone.
I think he's got something about him. But, like, he says he's always miserable and all, isn't he?
Dan Neil, still go.
Oh, it's definitely Steve.
Embleton,
Steer, he just needs to smile more.
Dan Neil.
Daniel, 100% steer.
Right, we got our midfield. All those players: Roberts, Clark, Matete, Gooch, Ekwa, Evans, Pritchard, Bellingham, Embleton, Clark, and Neil. Who do we start in midfield?
Like if we're going 4-4-2, Terry?
Just two midfielders. Who's the two midfielders we were playing like sort of Mishu, Neil?
Is midfield Clark a midfielder?
Like his class is a midfielder because he's a winger, in he's a left winger, in he.
Bellingham and Clark.
Bellingham and the midfield two. So before we have a Mishu, we had Ekwa, we had Dan Neil, we had Evans. Which two central midfielders do we play? We've got
Ekwa and Roberts.
Yeah, Ekwa and Roberts.
Or Ekwa and
Ekwa and Pritchard.
Ekwa and Pritchard in the central midfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not Jude Bellingham to get a start, Job, sorry.
We just said not to mention him. You just said previous players.
Sorry. Right, we'll do it again. Right, sorry. Cut. Right, so central midfielders. At the start of the season, we had Evans and we had Dan Neil.
Yeah, what's going on here?
All right.
I'm in the library.
Wait a minute, I'll just go in there. I'll have to take this.
See, that's the same because I think they're all
Those
fucking.
move my car over to there. Oh no.
Right, we're back on here, right. So, with this question, right, two central midfielders, who are we going for?
I'm going to go for Tony Mowbray. I feel sorry for you next season. I'm going to go for Evans and Bellingham.
You're two central midfielders. Come on, you know the crack.
I didn't know anything
Wiki.
I didn't know about central midfielders.
Right, so we had Evans, we were having Matete, we got Ekwa, we got Dan Neil, we got Bellingham.
I would go Ekwa and Evans.
Ekwa and Evans, right. They're the two
It's
central
experience
midfielders.
and young, innit?
Right.
Ekwa, the last 6 games of the season.
I think we did better when Evans was in the team.
Juice and Burnett, stay go on loan.
No, I want him to stay because at the end of the day, what he can do is unbelievable.
Do you not think that he should maybe go on loan? No.
No, 100% not, because he showed that he can do it already in the Championship. Unfortunately, he's had that shoulder injury.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a brilliant person to come on. If we're 1-0 down with 70 minutes again, get fucking Juice and Bennett on, because at the end of the day, he's class.
Raymond?
I think I would play him.
Play him?
Yeah.
I'll put him
He won't get on the first team. Right?
Exactly, so I'll put him on loan. I'll put him in his League One and get to play against some real men and get him strengthened up.
He won't get on the first team.
Well, you didn't know. You didn't know though, because
another season, another year of maturity.
But you didn't know how the training, do you? Because at the end of the day, we're not allowed to go and watch them training anymore. Whereas when it was at Whitburn, you could go and watch
the
them.
best footballer out a lot in the training is Bar.
Why can't fans go and watch the team train?
I think it's all about spies, you know what I mean? You could tend to be a fan and you're a Leeds United supporter, work for Leeds United, and you go, oh lads, and go and watch them, you know what I mean?
Right, one last one. We're going to go for Bar.
Keep 100%.
On loan?
No, because how can we see on loan when we've not seen him?
That's what I mean, just to give him experience. Because is he going to get a start realistically next season in the first half of the season?
How old's Bar?
Bar's only about 19, he's a youngster, isn't he?
But at the end of the day,
I heard he's the best player in training that they've got.
Exactly. So
Skillful?
I would just keep him at the end of the
keep
day
him as well.
I'd keep the players, but I think some players gain experience by going out on loan.
Well,
Look at mine.
See, these are not going to get first.
Exactly so, but if
they're
they
going
go
to be
on
in
loan,
League
they
One.
get
But at the end
experience.
of the day, Terry, they're going to go in League One, League Two. What's that fucking good to us?
Better sitting on the bench, doesn't it?
No. But at the end of the
They might
day,
even get on the bench.
if we have the same injury,
Some of these will not get on the bench.
No.
Benetti will not get on the bench alone.
No, but at the end of the day, if we have the same injury as we had last season, we want the much players that we need, because at the end of the day, what let us down last season? Height. There was Gooch in 09. Love you, Gooch, but you're 5'3". You know what I mean? We missed Bath, we missed Ballard, and now we've got Speakman seen that, and that's why I'm starting to change my opinion on Speakman, because he's seen that our height stopped us last season. You know what I mean? And what's it? Well, but I know everybody could see it, but at the end of the day, he's done what he's fucking being told today. That get fucking height. I've told him to buy. I saw him in that McDonald's that time, and I said we need a hard defender, and the only thing he hasn't bought is a lad who I'm like, fucking hell, hard man.
I heard he bought you a McFlurry.
He fucking bought me jack shit. He bought me jack shit. So you owe me a McFlurry, and when I got to McDonald's, I got 22 cheeseburgers.
Right.
So if we get up next year, you owe me 22 cheeseburgers.
Right, we'll move on. Right. What's your expectations next season, Ray? Come on, hand on heart. Use your mind and use your heart. What's your expectations next season?
I think we'll be in the top 6.
Yes, no, not think. What's your expectations?
We will be in the top 6.
If we're not, are you disappointed?
I don't know, because they didn't get in there. Well, they got in the top 6, but they didn't get promoted this season.
With the lowest points ever.
Because I saw some brilliant football.
You did, but I'm saying that was last season. We should move on. We should theoretically move on.
I will be disappointed if we not in the top 6.
Are you happy with the owners now? We got rid of Donald Duck and Salmon Pants, and now we got the owners of Kildee and Sartori. Are you happy with them owners of the club?
Those two banner boys should never have been there. Never have been there.
I'm happy with them at the moment. I'm happy with them like most things. Happy with them at the moment. I was happy when Short first took over.
Speakman's done well. You know the players he's brought in.
They've done well. They've improved the club. They've improved the team.
Speakman though. He's the head of recruitment. It's the bloke who guns out. The fucking who doesn't see his family. I've forgotten his name now. Who fucks off to South America. Who guns to Germany and all that. But Speakman gets all the same.
He get a good wage though. He'll be getting paid a good wage.
Oh, of course he does. Well, at the end of the day. He wants the credit. It's like I work in haulage. Because I drive the wagon still, right? Mm-hmm. I earn the money for the company, but I don't get the credit for earning the money for the company. It's the management, it's the transport team. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Where are we going to finish next season?
Top 2.
Top 2. Right. Are you happy with the owners?
No. Well, yes, I know. Because at the end of the day, they've got us out of League One. There's one tick.
Yeah.
Let's say what they buy this year. I still can't get behind one who hasn't worked a day in his life.
But we'll say 2 ticks because I think we sort of exceeded expectations next.
No, we haven't. No, Terry, no. Because at the end of the day, yes, we might have finished 5th in the bloody League One, but that squad should have finished higher.
No, I mean Championship.
No, I mean the season before as well. No, because at the end of the day, if we kept everybody fit, and that's what's making me worried, this model, what's saying that Semedo hasn't got an injury list, Sleep's got an injury list.
Remember the injuries last season were the key injuries to 3 experienced players,
exactly,
not the youngsters. The youngsters really shouldn't.
No, Echo injured.
Echo wasn't injured.
He was. Okay. No, Echo got injured, man. He was out.
He was only out 2 games, man.
Echo, he was out more because it was Dennis Serkin and him in the fucking.
No, unless he got injured. Echo was fine.
Yeah, sorry, I do apologise. But in the day, we've only got Patterson. I ain't got a clue about Bass apart from handballing against the Johnny Ones.
You're happy with the owners, yes or no? Or on the line?
I'm sorry, folks, but I'm on the line. And I mean it. KLD, I confronted you after West Ham, the Burnley 4-2 defeat. I still want to be proven that you mean that you want to do what you want to do with the club. And it's same as...
I get where you're coming from. I know what you mean, and I'm thinking the same, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, they're here, they got us almost in the Premier League, they got us out of the Champion, out of the League One. So the next, for me, this season is the season we'll know what they're made of, because we'll know they put the money where the mouth is, whether they get us into that next step, that next level.
Well, that's the thing. He's come out, the sporting director, and said, ship bus promotion this season.
This season.
The season coming. He's come out, the sporting director, and says, ship bus, because he knows that we fucking did really well. He knows that the players we got. Who are you scared of next season? As a Sunderland fan, I'm scared of any fucker.
I think next season's harder than the season.
No, it's not. Because the players we got, Terry. Why be scared?
I'm not scared. I think it's a more competitive league next season than previous season. I think the likes of Leicester, Southampton, and the other team went down. Was it again? Leeds are more tougher than the three that went down the previous season.
Yeah, but Southampton losing all their players.
Right, we're the same. So, what's your expectations of this season? What do you expect from the club?
Last season, I expect the top 6. We've got top 6 this season.
Top 2.
No, not top 2. Lifting that trophy.
Oh.
Lifting that fucking trophy.
Spot on, I love this.
Because at the end of the day, and this is to all the Southern players, I have faith in you. And I do believe that Gooch, Bath, Ballard, Hume, Patterson, who you got to scare? Who's got to scare you in this league? No one.
They've all been improved over.
Exactly, but same as Stuart Bennett. No one you've got to be scared in this league. So at the end of the day,
the top 2, Stuart's got to stay fit, like.
But he's not going to. That's why I say it. We need another striker. But at the end of the day, this team we've got here,
by Semedo,
and we've never, apart from 2 games last season, we didn't score.
Yeah.
But you got no one to fear, lads.
So we've got Stuart.
We've got no one to fear.
Got Stuart and Semedo. How many more strikers do you think they're going to buy?
I want 2.
No, you want 2. How many are they going to get?
One. I think Sims will come.
One.
I'll not get 2, just 1.
I think he will get Sims back.
You think so?
Yeah.
Right.
He's
championship level, he's not Premiership.
No, he's not, but at the end of the day, if Stuart...
But he scores goals.
As long as you get a goal scorer and someone who can create the goals, I suppose.
He scores some good goals for us. But I don't think he's nowhere like as good as Stuart. Not in the same league as Stuart.
Out of all the players we've got on that board now in front of me, which player is most likely to leave? I've got this feeling.
I think Pritchard.
I think
Robertson, Clark will stay.
Do you think Clark will stay?
Well, Clark's just signed a 3-year contract, didn't he?
When?
Doesn't matter. Burnley's put 2 bids in for him.
Yeah, but fucking 10 million.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
No,
right?
exactly.
It's got to be at least 30.
And that's what I've got to say. Well done to Sunderland Football Club. And honestly, for saying nah, you take the piss, Burnley. At the end of the day, Clark should be going for 30 million. We're not. Siggy come out the other day and says we are not a selling club. And that's what's changed my opinion about him, a spokesman.
I'll give you this quick thing about what disappoints you the most about Sunderland Football Club at this moment in time. Have a think about that one. Right? Half-time entertainment, Steve. I know you're a big one this one. Half-time entertainment in the facilities. What is wrong with the half-time entertainment in the facilities? Can you round this up in a couple of minutes?
Right, around a couple of minutes, right? I think it's not big enough area, for one.
South stand.
Well, the whole stands. The whole stand going round the bottom bowl. There's not enough room. We're all like that. I think the doors should be opened at half-time and let people spill out in a gated area, so you're not fucking trying to squeeze for a fucking pint. Outside, mate.
They do that at Carlisle.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So you should be allowed to get outside, fucking have a beer. No.
Steve, it's
no,
it's not. How long will it take you, right? The game kicks off. First off, a couple of stewards, get the fucking bollards, bum like that.
I've seen Carlisle twice at half time. They open the big gates, everybody goes like a massive fence and goes around. Exactly. The stewards there, everyone goes out, has a tab, get a bit of fresh air, and they come back in, they close the big sort of double doors. Exactly. They could probably do that at Sunderland.
Of course they could. Well, they do it for the concert. If you went to Pink or what's the other female?
Beyonce.
This season, you would have saw the ball.
You used to do that at Roker Park.
Well, exactly.
But-
No.
So
Go on.
what's wrong with them?
People can get in, and if you've got a big crowd like we get big
Right,
crowds.
if there's a proper fencing round,
Round, you can't get in.
I thought you meant you just open the gates.
Like a Carlisle, they open the gates, but they've got like a proper
Fence.
there's like a bollard or something goes down with stewards there watching. Nobody's gonna walk in. I mean, Sunderland's not like a place that's in the middle of the town centre. If anybody just walk in, it's like out the middle of nowhere. So everybody who's going to the match will already be there, won't they?
Yes, but if they get to know that those gates are open, you believe me, they'll
Yeah,
fucking
but
come
at
in
the end of
half
the day, as well as somebody saying to me, saying, well, why do you not just get a drink before you get in? I work, I do 5 on 3 off. Some people work every Saturday, but then they get in the match. So we haven't got fucking time to get a burger. We haven't
Not just
got
that,
time, you know
you're
what I
watching
mean?
the match, you're shouting for your team, you're screaming them on, your voice is getting sore hoarse, you need
exactly,
a drink.
Exactly, so
The whole purpose is enjoying
When you-
yourself,
my-
isn't it?
When you
My whole
complain-
purpose
you
is got-
complained about how long you're waiting on the queues.
Steve's got a
it's-
big complaint. He's got a big complaint with the queues.
queues, the area,
The queues are
I
massive.
agree with that.
and the
I mean,
fucking
they could do-
small.
they could do
I've
that
seen
a
we
lot
could
better.
do better. And at the end of the day, I've got the 2 daughters. I take the 2 daughters all the time, and one of my oldest daughter suffers from anxiety. And when she's squeezed up like that,
Oh, I understand
you know
that.
what I mean? Why we've got all that extra space outside the stadium, like just open the fucking doors.
That is an absolutely
You know what I
fantastic
mean?
point for me. I mean, people out there, let me know in the comments down below. What's your thoughts on that? Is that a good point, Steve saying? Open the doors, stewards out there, bollards there, get a bit of fresh air. You're not like sardines. Have more people serving alcohol.
They are ridiculous. Those
But at the end of the day, like somebody else said, why do you not buy a drink from before you get in?
Well, we
'Cause-
do.
But then there's not 20,000
no,
people do it.
No, exactly. Right, I got in the pictures with my 2 daughters, right? I got in the Empire's pictures in Sunderland. I could go to BM's, right, and get a packet of popcorn for fucking £2, packet of popcorn for the other daughter for £2, drinks and all that. I could probably buy for. It's the fucking experience, and I want to give money to my club, the club who I support, the club
Well,
where
you tell
I
them,
was
tell them,
born,
Steve, on there, tell
the
them.
club where I fucking born.
Tell Caleb where you're going.
I want to give you fucking money. I want to give you money for my 2 daughters. I want to give you money for fucking burgers, but your burgers are shit, and everything else.
Rollover shit.
The rollover
Rollover
shit is shit. Sort it out, and we'll be happy. And all this shit about that stadium light is fucking brilliant atmosphere. We'll go on the next, but it was shit last season. I'm gonna hold my hands up. All you fucking fans who's gone on these fucking channels saying, "Oh, brilliant atmosphere," Bellingham, I loved the atmosphere last year. Fuck off, mate. Stop lying, because the atmosphere last year was shit.
But it could be better than what he's experiencing right now.
But that's the thing.
And he doesn't know, does he?
If you have a better half-time entertainment, better hospitality, you got to Newcastle now. Let's all get in the car. Let's all get into that fucking Barcode Stadium now. It's open. It's open right now, and you can go and get a pint.
Right.
Alan Shearer's bar, whatever. You can get a pint.
And you can see the ground and everything, can you?
Well, I don't know about you can see the ground, but the bar is open 24/7 in the stadium, and that's what we need to fucking do. That's what we need to do at the
So
stadium.
half-time
right?
entertainment, as in like, just as in the facilities, the
It
food,
needs-
the drink, the
it needs to
experience of
improve, yeah.
being more relaxed.
Yeah.
Is that not on the pitch, just basically sort of hospitality needs to be much better.
100%.
Yeah, you get a pint at half-time with Wincy.
But
Good friend
what time
Wincy.
do you got to go down? 35 minutes?
Wincy
you
goes
guys?
35 minutes.
When
yeah.
she goes, I don't go.
Exactly. 35.
Oh,
Why
10
should
10
we
minutes
miss
before.
the fucking match? Why should we miss the match to get a pint at half
You can
time?
watch it on the screen.
I know you can. I know you can read.
It's about 3 seconds behind
You,
those.
you should have a Wincy somebody to gun for you.
But I haven't. I've got 2 daughters that try to send the English. And
That's
she
why
said-
Wincy makes him
she
go to
went
the
like that
Hilton
to me.
Hotel. That's why Wincy makes him go to the Hilton Hotel.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather go to the Hilton Hotel, pay £1 more than killing that bloody Sunderland. Yeah,
So half-time entertainment, are you bothered about what the entertainment, or are you
you
more
just-
bothered about
What
hospitality?
do you mean about entertainment?
Like entertainment on the pitch
Kids
for me to
play,
watch,
but that's
or
that's all right.
are you more bothered about like the food, the drink, the queues,
I don't think the
sweatiness stuck there like sardines.
I don't think the beer and the food are too bad. They're all right for me, but I think the queues are a disgrace.
And I agree with Steve. You're in there. You can't get past people.
You're knocking people.
You can't catching germs. You can't get to the toilet. We need more
that's
space. So
another thing.
opening the doors up is a brilliant idea for me.
I was in the away end at Barnsley, their home end, and their fucking area they're gonna be was from here to fucking Timbuktu.
Right.
I was having a fucking few pints in their end, and no one was touching us. And that's what it should be like at Sunderland, you know what I mean? Even though people started chucking peanuts at my head in the second half of the score, right?
Hold on to this thing. Barnsley didn't get 40,000.
I know, but that's the thing. That's what they need to realise. We get 40,000.
They've got
The Black Cats bargain's on forever.
I know.
We didn't want to pay, do we?
And they're not doing food next season, but that's the
they
thing.
don't.
But
And they
you've
could-
just
and
hit
they
the
put the
nail
prices
on the
up.
head over here. We get fucking 40,000. We
So-
get 40,000 more. So why not open them fucking doors, put a couple of rail lights?
So he's not thinking about the fans.
No, it's a shit.
And Black Cat's Bar now, you pay the same price
And you didn't get any
and you get
food.
no food.
I
For
think
me, that's a
the prices
joke.
gone up.
No, it has, because I went to look on, because obviously...
Gone up 30 quid.
No, it's got more than that, mate.
No,
Because
ours has gone up 30 quid.
I went
Ours has gone up
to...
about 80, I think.
Near enough.
And you get no food.
And you get no fucking food. Because obviously...
We got our money back, didn't we? Hey! Tell boy.
350 quid for a kid in the Black Cat's Bar.
It's a lot of money, mate.
Yeah, I've got plenty of space. Right, so last but not least, over the last couple of subjects, I want to talk about something that Steve's important about. Mental health, Steve. To do mental health, basically, is it generally the population or for men or what?
It's for everyone. Obviously, I suffer from mental health.
I do.
I'm on 200 milligrams of
He's just
sertraline. He's just fucking absolutely off his iron, that way. But I'm
What are
on
you on? 200 million what?
200 milligrams of sertraline.
Is that citalopram?
Yes,
I'm on there 40.
so I'm on 160 more than Raymond, though.
That's too high, that 200.
And basically what it is my gripe is with Sunderland fans. We support the same team, right? We don't have to have the same beliefs, but I went on, I can't remember what channel.
You know what it is? I don't hate anybody out there, right?
No,
and I believe everyone's entitled to their opinion.
But yeah, but it's how you put your opinion.
As long as you're respectful, you know, at the end of the day, it's your opinion.
And that's what what's he called? Bowers says.
Michael Bowers, yeah, class that.
And people who call people when they go like, I apologise to give another, what do you call it, programme out.
Doesn't matter. For me, I'm for
SAFC fans, TV.
Well, there's Fans React. I'm for
Fans React, that's what I mean.
for all Sunderland football YouTubers, all Sunderland, I like all Sunderland fans. Not against anybody.
Fans React.
I wish them all the best.
A good mate of mine, Sean Middleton, and all that. We interviewed one match, and the amount of abuse I got after my comments. But people's got to remember, when somebody's giving a comment on these fucking channels after the match, we're
Emotional, isn't it?
We're emotional.
It's just your opinion.
It's just my opinion.
It's all about
But at the end of the day, what gives you the right to F and blind at people? It gives you no right. You don't know what's going through that person's mind. Your comment as, say, is negative to the person, but you're abusive with the negativity. Don't mind the negativity. I get called a wank every day at work in a lorry because people don't know how lorries take roundabouts. But it's you don't know what that person's going through, and my opinion is just take a breather. That person's gone on after the match. He's given his opinion. His fucking opinion's high as out. You know what I mean? Because he's just watched what he's watched. You know what I mean? And I went after the 4-2 defeat off Burnley. And I confronted KLD about it. I says, fucking disgusting. I went on Fans Reacts TV, and the amount of abuse I got. But people don't understand. When you come out that ground, you're fucking you're up there, aren't you? You know what I mean? And
Depends.
It's just opinions in it.
Depends who you
Oh,
meet.
fucking hell, I was down there. I was calling I was depressed
you
as
know what I
fuck.
mean? But at the end of the day, you don't know that your opinions might affect that fucking person.
There's places out there you can get help, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
Even at the Stadium of Light, the Beacon of Light.
The
there's
Beacon
places.
of Light and Mind and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Mind. And if you're, or seriously, this is, I know this is crazy, right? I won't chew chewing gum because if I believe that I chew chewing gum, that's how many goals Sunderland's going to concede. That's how my mental health works. So at the end of the day, you've got to realise that people's different in every way. But if you're like me, contact me on Instagram and that, because I need help. I was ex-army. I got kicked out the army and all that because of my mental health and stuff like that. That I was too crazy for the army. Too crazy for the British Army, believe it or not.
Believe me, Steve is a fucking top lad. He'll do anything for anybody, and he's a class lad. But just we all have opinions, and we all get get emotional about different things. And there's places out there helping. I know people on here be watching this channel, and they'll have their opinions, and they might not agree with us, but everybody be respectful about what we say. You know, the respectful bunch.
You get a lot of comments about my colour, because I've gone from being white to nearly brown, haven't I?
How are you getting brown? That brown.
Sitting in the sun.
So, what mental health problems do you have then, Ray? Sitting in the sun all day.
I don't know.
Oh, but that's the same.
I tell you, I don't now, but I'm still on the. I've been on the town for years. Mine started when 33 years at Phillips, and Phillips closed down.
Yeah, Phillips closed down for 33
Army
years.
mates disappeared.
Mm.
You know,
Well, that's the
I
same.
was working with loads of people, and then that went from that to now. That's when it started.
But always speak to someone, even if you haven't got a friend who believes in how you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's mind in there, Sunderland. I don't know about Durham because I'm not from the Durham area, but the Mind in Sunderland.
Well, the Samaritans as well.
Samaritans
Everywhere
and
you go,
everything.
isn't there?
And just think before you write. At the end of the day, that's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the comments I got after that match.
Everybody's human. Everybody's human.
human.
And everyone should respect everybody in an ideal world. You know, at the end of the day, like I said
Exactly,
before.
because you don't know. At the end of the day, you don't know who you're saying that abuse to. At the end of the day, Terry knows, but I was in prison for 18 months. So for Greenless body arm, I should have got down for a lot longer, but I had a good solicitor. So when you put them comments online, you just don't know. You don't know who you're speaking to. So at the end of the day, just think. But if you need help, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Just speak to somebody who you want.
There's always someone you can talk to. You know, and the day like. Everybody goes through mental problems regardless whether you're on different drugs or whatever. I mean, it's just you all have down days and good days, don't you?
Mental problems are rife.
It's mental problems because of everything what's going on, like the cost of living and everything else. You think you haven't got mental problems because you live with your mum or dad. Wait until you move out to your mum and dad's, and then that's when shit hits the fan.
Different night, big time. Right, I mean, Ray and Steve been absolutely class tonight. Steve, completely agree with what you said there. You know, the Mind at the big light, and I'm sure there's something else as well. I can't quite think what it is. So, Steve, what got you into supporting Sunderland?
Right, have a laugh.
Then on a funny good note, come on.
Come on. Leech.
Oh.
Right. I was born in 1985 in Sunderland General Hospital. Then my dad decided to go on strike at the pit.
Aye, my dad did as well. My stepdad and my dad and my granddad were all miners.
And we were living in Biddick Village in Washington. And obviously my dad was on strike. We couldn't afford to pay the bills. So my dad's, at the end of the strike, we ended up getting a cheque, well my dad did, for £1.69. £1.69 for a house or something, stuff like that. Dad, correct me if I'm wrong. We moved to another house and the
top Sunderland fan, John Henzell, top Sunderland fan.
We ended up moving down to Yorkshire because my dad decided to move down to the Selby complexes. What was just, can you remember Rick Hall, Still in Feet, and all that Wistow.
I Southern Field.
Aye, and the money was too good, but my dad decided to still live in Sunderland, so we were still living in Sunderland. And then my dad decided to take the roof off his car because he was tired, because he would leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning and end up falling asleep and basically taking the roof off his car and going underneath a truck. And if he wasn't asleep, he would have lost his head, but because he was like, oh, bloody hell, like that.
He survived.
He survived, and we decided to move down to Malton, and then I'm not going to get into this, Dad, but we had to move away from Malton. We moved to a little village in North Yorkshire called Kellington. And obviously, I started to grow up. Everybody was Leeds, Liverpool, Man United fans. And I used to do taekwondo. And my taekwondo teacher, kids this day and age won't remember you couldn't afford a washing machine back in the day. So you used to take all your clothes to dry cleaners. Yeah. So we used to take our clothes to the dry cleaners, who was owned by the taekwondo instructor.
I used to wash mine in the stream down the street.
Well, that's what it was. You know what I mean? People can't believe that you used to rent a fridge.
We used to go. We used to go and like find wood in the woods to put on the fire because we had no coal when the strike was on.
Exactly, and so
everybody. I was a little shit like that.
All my mates was like Leeds fans, so this bloke who taught us taekwondo had the dry cleaners, but he had second-hand clothes up next door, and there was a Leeds shirt. So I was like to my mother, I want that Leeds shirt. All right, but I'll speak to your dad, see if he can get it for you. And then my dad found out that I wanted a Leeds shirt. He was like, what do you want a Leeds shirt for, son? I was like, well, all my friends support Leeds. And he was like, but you're from Sunderland. I says, right, but my friends support Leeds. He's like, yeah, but you're from Sunderland. And I was like, okay, Dad, no worries. He says, right, Sunderland's playing Crystal Palace 1991-92, midweek game. He says, I'll take you up to the game. So obviously we travelled up on the OD 1, OD 19, and then gone to my nan and granddad Henzell's house in Farney Close. And obviously by this time my granddad realised I wanted to be a Leeds fan, and he was like, you know you're from Sunderland? I was like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? He says, no, you're from Sunderland, you support your local team, son. I was like, all right, granddad. So went to Roker Park, was in the clock stand, in the standing area.
I remember those days.
And we won the game 1-0. There was kids behind us. I was only 91, I would have been 6 or 7. And the kids behind us were giving their fucking Crystal Palace fans the fingers and all that. I was like, oh, this is cool, this, like, you know what I mean? And
you became a Sunderland fan.
And that's it. I became a Sunderland fan, and I'm obviously moved back up to Sunderland, and that's it. It's in your blood. And that's what, you come down to Manchester, Liverpool, there's fucking, even them black and white bastards up the road, sorry for swearing, they've got rugby, they've got ice hockey, they've got fucking basketball. Sunderland, we just have a football team, and that represents the city, that represents what we fought for in the Borden Banks War. If you want to go back to history, when we decided to stay on the Parliament side instead of going with King George's. It's all about that. Supporting Sunderland represents what we are. We're proud. We'll fight for what we are, and that's what we want our team to do in it. You know what I mean? Represent the people who follow us, because at the end of the day, we went against the King. We did not like the King in the olden fucking days.
Wear your heart and your sleeve, play with passion.
Exactly.
Right.
And with everything else, you just, you know, you cannot help falling in love, can you?
Exactly. Ray, your story of Sunderland?
Well, all my family.
Family?
We all support my dad.
Durham?
Sunderland? No, we're all from Durham, Sherburn.
What was your first game?
Oh, it was about 7, I think. 6, 7.
What year?
1962, something like that.
1932, was that
1962.
Who was it?
I was there when Clough broke his leg.
Oh.
I think that was 63. Never played it. Well, he played it.
One of your first games, Clough broke his leg.
One
And he was still leading goal scoring in the season, wasn't he?
One of the earliest games, Charlie Hurley. I remember Charlie well when he came. Sharky, little Sharky, the centre forward.
So you'd have been there when Roker Park was massive, were you?
Oh, when 60,000 crowds.
Exactly, when the other end was full before I got there.
So when did it change and why did it change, do you think?
Safety one is
Dangerous.
dangerous.
There was people getting crushed on the barriers and all kinds of... I was there when the door went out, one of the big gates went out at Manchester United. Second replay.
Yeah.
And the official attendance was 35,000, it must have been 70,000.
70,000.
Because everybody just rushed the gate.
And you went to Wembley, didn't you, when Sunderland won the FA Cup? How old were you then?
19.
19. Who did you go there with?
Just on the bus with my mates.
Aye. What was your best memorable moment of that week?
Porterfield scored.
Porterfield.
What was that atmosphere like?
I thought they deserved to win.
Oh, 100%. What was that atmosphere like?
It was fantastic.
Aye.
Brilliant atmosphere. I mean, Leeds atmosphere, they were loyal supporters and it was a good game. But they matched one of them two magnificent saves from Montgomery. One off the other.
Who was your favourite player as a kid and Sunderland player?
My favourite kid as a player, as a kid.
When you were a kid, who was your
I
favourite
would
player?
say Charlie Hurley.
Charlie Hurley.
I liked Montgomery, the goalkeeper.
Oh, right.
And what do you call that little fella? Big Alan, I liked him. That was in the... He was in the 73 final.
Right. He's in the...
Brian Clough was a hell of a player.
Yeah.
He used to knock about that, keep on side, just knock about anywhere in that area.
The little general you want about, didn't you?
Oh, no, you mean Bobby Kerr.
Bobby Kerr, yeah.
He was the most underrated player. Never played for Scotland. He was a good player, Bobby Kerr. Little fella. Billy Hughes. Chewett was a hell of a player.
So in Raymondo's opinion, this time next season we'll be in the Premier League.
Yep.
In Steve's opinion, this time next season we'll be in the Premier League.
Yep, 100%. Why shouldn't be?
And with me, the jury's out. Right, I want to say a big thank you to Steve. Thank you coming on the channel. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Ray, for coming on the channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a long watch, end of the day. It's a bit of entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give us a like.
Can I tell you a good bet for next season?
Go on then.
Take it on straight away. As soon as the prices come out, Luton to go straight back down.
Luton to go straight back down. Yeah. Is the bet not Sunderland getting promoted next season?
That's my bet. I'm telling you that a certainty. Luton
to straight back down. Anyway, thanks a lot.
They're not footballers, man.
Well, other than them,
kickers, shite.
Didn't you say they were cheats?
Kickers.
I said they were cheats just fine.
No, I said kickers. They're just they're not footballers, them, man. That Premier League will suss them out within 3 minutes. They'll go straight back down.
The least points in the history of the Premier League?
I hope so, because we're only second, aren't we? Derby
County got 7.
I was glad that Derby beat us.
I'll tell you something, Derby got 9 points. They took 4 of them off Newcastle. They only won one game.
Boom! There you go, you little Geordies.
Right, thank you, take care, God bless me, God go with you, we'll see you later on the Madness Day.
I've been and seen.
And fuck, I didn't wear a hat and swim me bollocks away.
Can I go for a wee, Timmy?
If you have anything to say about Raymondo on the channel tonight, any questions for Ray, please leave a comment down below. Ray on his own channel will respond, won't you, Ray?
Yes, I will.
There we go, thank you, Ray. And also, Steve, if any comments for Steve, any questions for Steve, be respectful, and Steve, I'm sure, will pop on there and answer them as well.
Follow me on Instagram, Stephen Henzell. That's it, Stephen Henzell.
There we go.
And if you want to cook,
the
Henzell the German.
He'll cook some good food.
And I cook really good food, so if you want to learn how to cook good food for your missus, give me a shout.
What's your favourite meal, Steve, that you like cooking?
Oh, favourite meal? I love Italian food, so it's got to be pasta. But also...
Mamma mia, bella bella.
Bella.
Spaghetti bolognese.
My favourite meal of all time, you can't beat it, English breakfast with black pudding.
Happy days. But not black pudding for me.